We are live. Here we go. All right, let's get the list pulled up. Give people a second to get in here. Howdy indeed. Let's get this thing cooking. I think a few people are stuck behind a commercial as we're first starting off here, so I'm going to give them a sec. I think so, but I'm not sure. Can y'all hear Jason in the background? Okay. No. Oh, I know why. Because I'm a dummy. What up, boys? All right. Share audio. Now they'll be able to. All right. Welcome, all. Welcome, James. Welcome, boys. We're going to get rocking and rolling here in just a second.
Just a wee bit.
Just a wee bit. So first and foremost, because we are about to jump into everybody's list reviews. If you're not in the Escalation League, I think there's 15 spots left. This is the kind of thing that we're going to be doing with your coaches literally every week. So if you're not in there, I would strongly recommend it. Whether you're new, experienced, it's always great to be able to have somebody to bounce ideas off of and learn and, continue to grow. So that being said, we're going to jump into our first Tyranid list. And for the record, I'm going to butcher everybody's name, but I'm going to do my best. So we're going to call this guy, we're going to call him Pi. We're going to call this guy Pi. I know I've talked to this gentleman before. He's a pretty cool dude. He is playing Tyranids and Ambush and Vanguard, which, by the way, I currently think already that is probably the best. That with Reconnaissance is like an automatic 45 points of primary. So every Tyranid list that you build from at least the foreseeable future needs to have a Neurolictor as soon as you start the list. And then Zonethropes, I mean, I'm not a giant fan of that model and that unit, but I know it is good right now. Yep. Okay, so you've got a Brood, you've got Genestealers, you got a Brood, you got Genestealers. Those are great. Red Terror, sensational model. I think the Red Terror is one of the better data sheets that Tyranids has ever got. Biovore, best unit in the game. Exocrine, great right now in the meta. Hive Guard, that's a weird one. Not sure I love the Hive Guard. Lictor, Neurolictor, Norn, Ravsher. Yeah, so the only thing that I would maybe look at is, the Hive Guard. I'm not in love with the Hive Guard. I think they're a mediocre data sheet. I might look at either getting, this kind of Tyranid list wants to play control. It wants to go, I'm going to score 90 points. Can you deal with it? I would try subbing out and that Hive Guard for either 2 more Lictors or an Exocrine, and then you'd have a few points. The biggest thing to think about with Recon Tyranids is you're going to score an insane amount of points. So just score. All right.
Lictor, barely knew her.
Really?
VT.
I know he's in the chat. I know my man. All right, let's see. Okay, so Dark Angels, my man. Okay, you already don't have motorcycles, so that's strike one. But because you're a good community member, we're going to keep going, but you might get a spanking later. All right, Dark Age Arsenal. and Firestorm Assault. Okay, so cool, interesting. Firestorm is an interesting one. I'm curious your logic on that, but let's look at the list. So we got Azzy, we got a librarian. Okay, now we got some bikes. Ravenwing, Sammy, Hellblasters. Okay, I don't like the Hellblasters. And I know that this detachment really benefits the Hellblasters, but I'll walk you through it in just a second really easily. Big interceptor break this into two squads. I love I'm currently like my second version of my Deathwing Knight. My bike list has two of them in separate squads, unless there's just some real reason you got to run them as one. Gives you a lot more versatility. Okay, Infiltrator, I think extremely good. Inner Circle, you're going to go with the Librarian. ATV's fine. Land Raider Redeemer. This man is going. All right, Black Knights, Baby Black Knight, Storm Speeder. Okay, so here's the thing. This list would be way better if you just a couple of easy tweaks to your list. And as long as you're not playing I totally get it. The only thing I don't like about that is they're not the easiest or hardest. They're kind of like a middle data sheet, but I like them having to make two different target selections instead of one. And I like having the versatility of being able to pop them into two spots. I totally get the stratagem support of being able to use a stratagem on three more of them. But if you're relying on interceptors to kill something, the game plan has probably gone wrong. Okay, so first thing and foremost, I love my Hellblasters. I think they're super cool. I think they're great. Stern Guard are just straight up better. They're 20 points less, and they are just straight up better, even in this detachment, even with this stuff. They just are just better. You submit a list in the Discord. So in our Discord, which there is a link in the description below, if you click on the Discord, there is a list submission spot. So Azzy leading them, it's just better. They are 20 points less, and they actually have some melee, but the dev wounds on average, you will do 14 devastating wounds. So it's one of those situations where it's like it's hard to beat the ability to just point at something and go, here's 14 dev wounds, and then Azrael's typically going to do one. So like being able to just point it literally any unit in the game, it can be a toughness 13 Baneblade, and you're like, I'm going to do 14 devastating wounds to you, is very, 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 very attractive. Because what you do, the tech is these guys go forward, you chunk a grenade, and then you just unload hell, and that's what they do. What I would personally do is I would swap Dark Arsenal for the Dark Angel Speeder one. I can't remember what it's called right now. Dark Flight. It will synergize better because you do have 3 speeders. So this Hammer Strike will get the benefit of it. Both of these will get the benefit of it. If you have a third Vengeance, I think the Vengeance is one of the best data sheets in the entire game right now. So that's what I would run just as a third one, FYI. All right. We did get a super chat from Brother Captain. All right. Will you pick my list before I have to go? Yeah, absolutely. Super chat, get you jump to the front. So I will say, while I'm looking for his real quick, Jace, if we get any other super chats for people wanting to jump ahead, if you would be so kind to just copy and paste it and DM me, that would be okay. While you look for his, I'm gonna do the next one, but you're literally next, brother. So scrolling back up. Somebody had asked about us offering coaching services. I just wanted to very, very quickly explain. We're not charging money for that or anything like that. My ask is literally when we do these things, throw a super chat, or if you want, be so kind to boost the Discord or something like that. We're not trying to like gouge anybody for money. We're just trying to make everybody better players. All right, EC. Okay. So this is, whose list is this? Pennant Host and Sacrosaints. Oh, man. I want that. I want to find that list for me, Jace. I want to review this gentleman's list. Okay, so I'm looking at James's list right now. And yeah. Okay, so EC pretty much only wants to play Purge the Foe. I don't like this detachment. Court of the Phoenician, I do not think is that good. But you know, if you're playing it for funsies, then they're you know, that's totally cool. I just don't think it has a great suite of stratagems. Anyway, let's look at the list though. Let's look at the list. Okay, we'll do it next. You're coming up next, brother Captain. All right, so Lord Exultant, Infractors, obvious great combo. Fulgrim, you know, I've been talking to Eric. I think Fulgrim's actually very good right now. I think Fulgrim, you're going to see him in a lot more list. The fact that you don't really need, like, you can use the fights first when it's actually relevant, but the rest of the time you don't really need it. And you would basically need it when if he stays somehow engaged with something. You got 3 Lord Cacophonous solos. Interesting. 2 Rhinos. Chaos Terminators. Okay. And then Mauler, noise. So I'm actually very interested in your Terminators because they are the cheaper point cost. I do think that they are good, and I think that there is some sauce there. What I would suggest, real quick, James, are you going to be playing in the Escalation League, James? We got your list, brother. I got it in my DMs. You're going to be next. James? Are you playing in the Escalation League? Probably not. Okay. Well, here's what I'll do. I think your list is solid, but I'm curious about your attachment. Do me a favor. Send me a message in Discord, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you with Eric and have Eric sit with you and go through this, because my initial thought, and Eric's one of the top 5 EC players in the US right now, so like he knows what he's talking about. My only question is, okay, you've been talking with Eric. Okay. My curious question is do you need the 3 Lord Cacophonous solo? Because you're going to be running Purge, you don't really need the action monkeys unless you're attaching them to the 3 Noise Marines, and it's just not attaching. So if you're attaching them, then I think you're good. Lots of insight here, Drake. Thank you for a couple of 2v2 games. Sweet. So I think so here's the thing. Keep in mind, guys, you don't need action monkeys like you once did if you're going to be playing Purge. There are only 2 cards in the entire secondary deck that require actions. So if you're playing Purge, you want your units either as tough or as killy as humanly possible. So my only real question is like attaching these. I would attach these 3 personally to them, because you want your bricks as lethal as possible, because you only have 2 actions that you have to do, and you can always just get rid of it. So that's my 2 cents. My only question is Court the best? I love the brutes. I just am curious if there is some better synergy we could get other than Court. That's my only question. Otherwise, I think the list is sound. All right, looks like I've got your list, brother Captain. And it is the best faction in the game. The Sisters of Battle. Okay, Penitent Host and Sacred Champions. Okay, so you're playing Take and Hold, which we can do. It's not our favorite, but we can do. Okay, so you got Morgie. I love Priest and Arcos. I think Priest and Arcos is like peanut butter and jelly. They hit so much harder than people think, and they're so much harder to kill. Junith and Sacrosaints, I think that's the best natural. I think that is our best expansion holding unit that you could possibly want. Pally and Ret Squad. Do you have a Rhino you're putting them in? You do. Okay, so the Pally and Ret Squad are going to start in the Rhino. You send them out, and they could literally kill the Emperor himself. And then they're going to die after that, but they will delete anything. Freya is awesome. I am trying my best to figure out how to work her into every list that I'm building right now. She just, between the toughness and the lethality, I think it's great. Battle Sisters to sit on the home. Yeah, I know about the -1 to wound on 2 units. Totally know what you're saying, James. I'm not educated enough in EC to know if that's the best pairing. That's my only thing. I know Coterie inside and out, upside and down, because that's what every like high level player has played. So I've played it 100 times. I've just never played any of the other ones, like not once. So I just have to have some more reps on it. Battle Sisters sit on the home. I think a lot of people are doing that. I'm also playing with the idea of just putting 3 Arcos on the home point, but because it's so hard to screen now. So yeah, you got double Rhino. I hate the double Rhino tax. So we're going to come back to that. Swap the Penitents for Mortifiers. Mortifiers are better. So right now, the Penitents give you advance and charge, but if you stage, then you shouldn't need. If you can handle their questions, Jason, in the chat, I'd appreciate you. You shouldn't. They're asking questions in the chat about like where they put listed and stuff.
Okay.
The Penitents give you advance and charge. If you stage appropriately on turns 1 and 2, you're not going to need the advance and charge. So what I would strongly recommend is switching to the Mortifiers. The big reason is they changed. They made like a shadow change, and so now you no longer can have bolters on anything other than Mortifiers, and that 3 base save is way better than you think. That since they're basically the same cost now, I like the Mortifier better than the Penitent engine. Hits just about as hard. The Flamers obviously are great and stuff, but I like taking the bolters because it gives you some more utility of shooting around the field. And I really, really like that. Rets in reserve, Calidus. Okay, so here's the thing about Calidus. I'm personally, like, if you're just playing this list for fun, 100%, I have taken her out of every list because right now we are waiting on an FAQ for the Calidus, and you are up to the RT or the tournament that you play at. It's discretion. So let me explain what this is, because this is a real thing right now in tournament play. So the way the new rules work for Evect is the player has to use the stratagem, and after they use the stratagem, you then declare, because it's not everything in an aura. You have to declare, I'm going to use it now. So when they use it, then at that time, after they've used it, the cost goes up by 1. Here's what they have not clarified. If you only have 1 command point, and I used Vect, and it goes off, does that burn your command point, or do you get to keep it and the ability does not go off? And if in fact you just get to not use the stratagem, then that's okay. That's totally fine. But if you can go, hey, I'm going to like actually like not only burn your stratagem point, your command point, but not let it go off, it's incredibly powerful. So we just don't know yet. They have not ruled on that. So because of that, I'm taking Calidus out of my list because I don't like being up to the discretion of individual judges, because it makes it really hard to practice with the unit and knowing how it's supposed to work. So I would swap the Penitents. I would take the Calidus out for right now. And, you know, just use, I know it's not the same, But you could use a jump pack cannoness if you really want that deep strike. Move around the board, any of that kind of shit. But I would probably get rid of it. Here's my take on the Rets. And dude, I've been running 2 to 3 Retributors for a hot minute now. 125 points. If you're running them with any immolators so that you can strip cover, I'm all for them. But if you're not, it's already bad because so you're having them in reserve. So when they come in from reserves, they're hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s. The problem is if that thing has cover, you're hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1s, and that just sucks a big bag of dicks. So I have stripped my Rets out unless I'm running them with like an immolator. So like I have a list right now where I have 2 that are riding in immolators. So the Emmy can shoot, strip cover, then they can do their thing, right? So that being said, that gives you 250 points that you can pick up another unit. To me, what I would probably do is I would probably pick up, I would do probably another unit of Arcos, another priest to lead them, which would be 200 points. And then with your last 50 points, you very easily, or what you could do is you could pick up another thing of Arcos, and then you could pick up another mortifier, and then you'll have potentially some points for either an enhancement or something else. But that would be my suggestion of how I would shift around. If, again, and I'm going to keep repeating this over and over again, like if you're playing in the escalation, we'll handle all this as we're going through because we're starting here in like 2 weeks. If not, play with your list, especially since you're a Sisters player. Just hit me up in the Discord, brother. And I'm Drake in the Discord, so it's super easy. And I'm happy to help, like as you play with your list around, like you play a couple games with it and see how she feels. If you feel like you need some gun line support, we can figure out how to work a castigator in or something like that and go from there. All right.
The next list we have is Doug. Doug, if you're in the YouTube chat, would you please acknowledge yourself? His list is via a iPhone screenshot scroll.
Oh, he had one of the scroll things?
Yes, so he's up towards the top. It looks...
Hang on. Okay, I just found it. Let's see. Sorry, I've had some weird videos, so I just stopped sharing for just a second. I'll reshare. All right. Listen. I can't confirm or deny that somebody sent me a picture of their dog's asshole when they told me it was a leak, and it got me.
God.
It got me. Okay, let's see. It's called Taco One. I already like the name. Okay, Azrael. Weird video. You say, "Don't you fuckers start? Don't you fuckers start?" All right, 1 Raven Wing command squad. Interesting. Intercessors, like interceptors. I've been thinking about running some intercessors. I have 5 points. Put them on your expansion. Okay, 2 ballistas, 1 inner. 2, you own 2 land speed. You're proxying, you hooker. I know you are. Land speeders, 2 Raven Wings, scout. What in the fuck? Okay. So, does he show me his dispositions? No. Okay. I'm going to take a wild guess. You're running the plasma detachment. You're running the someone hurt this man. Yeah, this is the craziest. This is okay. All right. So, I'm assuming that you're running the speeder, Space Marine speeder. You're running the Dark Angel speeder. And then maybe our plasma detachment, because like your inner circles aren't leading anything. Azrael's probably leading them, but you got the other guys unled. Why? Okay, they got Recon Hunter. Oh, they got Recon Hunter. You're playing Company of Heroes. Okay, so what's this gentleman's name? Doug. So first off, Doug, you are a sociopath, Doug. This is a crazy list. Second off, If this is just the units you own, we can work on it. We can make it work. We can be successful. But you're going to get slaughtered by anybody that knows what they're doing because this list has zero cohesion whatsoever. So either join the Escalation League or holler at me in Discord, and I will happily help you retool it because I'm sorry to say, my boy, we're going to have to rebuild this one from the ground up. All right? We don't have time for that this evening.
Don't treat that man like AOL.
Listen. We got to do a little work on it. We're going to do a little work on it. All right. Take it hold.
I will say this. You did say that now's the time to try some crazy stuff.
Sure. You know, and listen, that's why I got to know the intention. If it's what you own and what you love, totally get it. Like, I own 2 Khorne Lord of Skulls. I also own a Bloodthirster, Scarband, and Angron. And if I decide to take all 3 of them to a tournament, I ain't trying to win. I'm just trying to have a damn good time. That's okay.
Call him a sociopath.
Yeah,
that's psychopath.
Totally fine. So let's share this other list real quick. We've got, looks like a Blood Angel, which this is no good. This is no good list. Who is this? Ben. You are I'm just going to pose a philosophical question. Your fast-moving army that wants to punch people in the face, standing on points is probably not your thing. So this is not the, like, if you just love how, you know, lag plays, by all means. But I think you're going to feel very restrained because you can't go out and do Blood Angel things because you're going to feel like I got to hold these points. Because there's not even that much of saying like, oh, let's go attack the other one. Okay, so you got a giant murder brick with Dante. You got a Chappie. You got a priest. Blade guards. Oh, spicy. That is a spicy brick right there. You got, you're running a purge list, my man. Okay. Jump pack, ballistas, Lancer. Yeah, you're going to sit those Lancers on. Okay, so same PSA with the Assassin. If you're just playing fun games, totally cool. Until they probably won't drop that FAQ until the first data slate, which will be about this time next month. So we don't know how Calidus is going to rule. So you could very easily be like, okay, I want to vect that ability. And they're going to be like, no, you know, and they're going to go, you can't vect it because he doesn't have the CP and he just gets to use the stratagem. It could be, the stratagem doesn't go off, or it could cost him one and it doesn't go off. It's going to completely be up to the tournament organizer. And I don't like putting my hands in the fat little man that's running the event's hands. So that being said, I'm personally taking them out. I don't love your list. You got 3 big guns and then some jump stuff. I personally think that if there's any army other than, like, you're good world eaters, like you want to play purge, so like rage is how you want to play this thing. And I think if you're playing it as rage, you could get rid of this. You're gonna have 250 points easy just getting rid of the ballistas and the Calidus of more murder ball and some death company units, and you could absolutely you can be a problem. You could be a real problem. So it's my 2 cents. All right, looks like we got another super chat. Yep, I'm gonna. So Rhino Gaming, we'll hit yours next. I'm gonna do the next list while he's pulling that up, so that we can just keep on moving. All right, Leagues of Votann. I wish my boy Carter was here. So I watched a Votann game today. List was very similar to what you're running here, and it was maybe the grossest, most annoying shit I've ever seen. So your list is a little different. And the main thing is your land forts. So the big Genestealer build that I've seen the last two guys play that I went, oh my God, I do not want any of that smoke. It's like 21 units, and you can't, there's nothing you can do. They're going to score 90 points. The up, down, the insane movement shenanigans, the way they can move all over the board. If you want to play Votann Killy, what you've got here is definitely a more killy version of the list, and I think it can kill. Absolutely. If that's what you're trying to do, if your goal though is like you just want to start winning a bunch of Warhammer games, they're deceivingly tough. And when they play a game plan of like, I'm going to score 85 to 95 points every game, can you? It becomes one of those things where like it's almost as oppressive as you're tabling your opponent because they just are going, what can I do? I don't know what I can do. So I would strongly, like if you're interested in that, like hit me up. We'll set up a one-on-one session, man. I can walk you through. I'll even bring Carter into it. We'll walk you through how the Votann list kind of plays. It is so much fun. Like it looks like it's so much fun because you're just it's just shenanigans. And you're like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna kill a few of your stuff, but you'll never catch me. And like it is a weird, cool list. So if you're interested, happy to show it to you. I think what your list is I think it is going to be kind of a killy list. And I think that's okie dokie. I think the biggest thing you're going to have, you even said it, is deployment. Those big forts are going to be hard to deploy on some of the layouts with some of the different things you've got. But that'd be my 2 cents. I think that I would probably make a couple of tweaks, but my biggest thing would be is like, if you try to get into a gunfight right now with the list you have, if they're a real gunfighting army, you're going to lose. If they're melee and they get on you, you're going to have issues. So you need to either figure out you want to lean into the guns or you want to lean into the shenanigans. All right. Do we got rhinos? Did you send me that one? All right. Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines is only one of 2 armies that I'm actually hoping I don't run into at the next tournament. Okay. Devotees of Destruction, Warp Strike Champ. Okay, so first off, CSM. Let's see. Yeah, you're running the build I thought you were running. Okay, so priority assets is like a match made in heaven. So do not fall. So Rhino, do not fall into the trap. Other things I have painted. Yeah, so most people are running max bikes because they use them for. So I'm going to explain. Give me 1 second. So here's what's gross about Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines can score incredibly well while literally murdering you off the table. So Abaddon, Chosen Brick, okay. Normally what a lot of people are running is they are running 2 giant Chosen Bricks, sometimes 3, but you know, I'm not in love with the Terminators. I would also change your detachment just on a side note, but you want to play priority asset or purge. Either one. Yeah. So if we're playing with what we have, so you said you also have painted Possessed, Forge Fiends, Bikes, Legionaries, and you got Obliterators. How many Obliterators you got? Yeah. I get it now. I think the up down is good. Yeah, I did. How many Obliterators do you have? Okay, so you have 6 more or 6 total? Because if you have 6 more, 6 painted. Okay, cool. So I would. Yeah. So I think Obliterators hit like nobody's business. So the question is 2 versus 3. 3 is probably overkill, but it's going to feel really, really, really good. 2 units, I don't know. You're gonna every once in a while underkill something. So you got 2 in there now. So the question is do you take the third? I mean, I'm a big believer of like you don't lose a lot of games when your opponent doesn't have models. So I like the concept of having a third, but to do that, you're going to have to. You're running this because you want to play the Terminators, and the problem is the Terminators take up so many points that you can't take anything else. The only thing you could maybe do is you could like the Nurglings can't score. So the play with this army is you're putting like 1 cultist on your home, 1 cultist on your expansion, trying to zone out a little bit, and then you normally have 2 chaos spikers, and those are the guys that are in the middle that are going to do the action for you. And then your Terminators deep striking, uppy downing, moving up the board, causing mayhem. The same with Abaddon, because priority is going to make you fight over the middle, and you've got 3 insane bricks to do it. The only thing that I would suggest, if we're going to leave our list as close to it as we can, I would personally, I would start both the Obliterators off the. I would start both the Obliterators in reserve. They're too fucking slow, and walking them on the board edge will be fine. And then they can like really lay some hate on whatever you need to die. I do think that the only problem you're going to have is if you get jailed by anything that can survive your punch, then yeah, that's Rhino. You hit where I was going with this. You are going to be completely relying on the uppy downy because your army is going to hit hard in close proximity. But like if somebody puts 70 Kroot in front of you, like it's going to take you a turn and a half to chew through it, and that can really slow down your points, which is gonna hurt. Now the advantage you have is the ability to pick stuff up, and I think that's where you're gonna have to practice almost baiting them in a little so you can pick something up and then go. Yeah, the thing about the sticky, you're 100% right. But if somebody's coming, the sticky's not going to matter because they're going to be on it. You're gonna where the sticky is going to matter is in the later turns. So sticky as a rule only typically matters on like turn 1, turn 2, and turn 5, because in the middle turns people will just walk onto it with an idiot to flip it. But I actually think you've got some sauce here. I think this is more finesse than most CSM are playing right now. Most CSM are like playing like I'm going to walk down the middle of the street with a baseball bat. What you're doing is you're saying like I'm going to throw ninja stars at you, but while I'm currently wearing like full plate mail while I'm doing it. So it's an interesting thing. So as long as you can use your movement shenanigans, I think you'll be good. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. And thanks, Rhino. Again, if you're not, I'm going to keep telling you guys because I just want everybody to get better. You just keep like you can always hit us up. We're happy to help. Disruption with teams. Disruption can work. Disruption can work as long as you're not going into recon. I think you're fine with disruption. Recon into disruption. I would rather hit my hand with a hammer over and over and over than play that personally. Okay, so let's go to the next list. So Jacob's Necron list. So here's the reason I hate Necrons. I'm going to be real for just a minute here. Okay, I play sisters mostly. And I try to res people. I just suck at it. You guys are the kings of it. So it's pure jealousy. That's what it is. Okay. I'm just jealous that y'all do it better. Okay. Now I'm not going to say that again, and I'm going to clip this shit out before it goes on YouTube, but That's the truth. Anyway, let's get into it. Fuck you. Awakened Dynasty. Man, okay, I'll be real. I hope you cooking. I was worried when I saw Awakened and some of the changes that it was going to be hard to play Awakened. But I think anything's possible right now. So let's look at it. So we got a Nightbringer and a Void Dragon. Okay, those are my favorite too. Then we've got the Stormlord. Okay. Locust Lord, Technomancer, Race. Okay, so here's my only thing. So I love the Nightbringer. I love the Void Dragon. I totally get basically everything except I hate Locust Heavy Destroyers, Locust Lords. I think that they are an absolute piece of dog shit that should be thrown in the dumpster. And granted, I have fought an insane amount of Necrons. And have I had some times before where they have popped off and done some crazy shit? Absolutely. I've had a whole lot more games where they haven't done a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. So I am not a believer. You might be the prophet of the Locust, but I think that they are crap. I think that you're paying for a unit that, like, when it hits that 3-up, praise be to the fucking star gods, huzzah. Cool. Yeah, they're glass cannon, totally cool. It's 36 shots, and guess what? In the current meta, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go, I'm going to pick that unit over there, and I'm going to shoot at it. And they're going to go, okay, cool, it has cover. So that's -1 ballistic skill. And they're like, you're going to be like, all right, I'm hitting on 4s. Got it. They're going to go, oh, wait a minute. Because every army in the game is looking for this right now. I got a stratagem to make this unit -1 to hit. You're hitting on 5s now, bitch. Go ahead and roll your dice. And then you're going to roll all those dice. And of those 36 shots, you're going to get 12 hits, if that, maybe 10. And then they're going to be like, you're going to go, okay. And that, you see what I'm saying? Like, sure. Okay. So you're back to 4s. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, it's man, I hope you are the prophet. I have just seen more often than not that if they get touched, they fall apart. But on the flip side, when they shoot against my battle sisters, you'll rip me to fucking shreds. If I'm playing Dark Angels and you shot those at my bikes, I would literally start throwing racial slurs at you from across the battlefield as I'm laughing at you. Like, I would start calling you an oversized Megatron. Like, I'd be like, come in, get it. Like, what are you talking about? So that gives you 220 points. So to me, take and hold, you've got a solid anchor. So your Void Dragon is clearly going to be one of your anchors. Nightbringer is meant to just go rip and tear and do what he does best. You're going to have 2 Wraith Bricks that are going to be in the middle. So I don't know this is how you're playing, but I played a lot of Necrons, so I'm going to guess Void Dragons on your expansion. You're going to have both Wraith Bricks in the middle, clogging it up, being a nightmare. Void Dragon Nightbringer is going to get sent at whatever you feel is going to be the most damaging. Your Death Marks are screening out the back, holding the home point a little bit. Your Destroyers are probably coming in from reserve, doing some shooting, stuff like that. So I was about to say, I think maybe some Scarabs. I think what you're missing on this list is you are missing a great skirmish piece that you can go and send out. So it's blanking me, and maybe this is scary. The dudes that have the giant scythe blades, they're like, no, fuck yourself. No, the you know what I'm talking about. Scorpex. Yes, Scorpex destroyers. Yes. You got half of it. The Scorpex. The Scorpex, I think, could be a really good unit because of the fact it's going to be easy to hide them and stage them. But those are going to be a great unit that you can launch in to provide support because you're going to have all the wraiths in the middle. Night Lord's going to be on one side. You're going to have a weak side. Launching those in on your weak side can mean that they can charge into whatever is the higher damage threat that's attacking. And I think you're going to start cooking there. I think you're going to be cooking there. But hopefully that helps, man. One thing I would recommend is if you haven't, get a couple of games in, and in particular, with Take and Hold, get some games in against priority assets and recon armies because you're going to do fine against Purge the Foe. You're going to do fine against Disruption, and the mirror match you'll probably be good too. But I would worry about recon and priority. Get some matches in on those because I think with your list, those are going to be hard to keep your opponent from scoring. So here's my 2 cents, man. Yep, there you go. Yep, perfect. Love it, brother. All right. I've been practicing against Dark Angel bikes. You saying you want a shot at the champ? You want a shot at the champ, Jacob? You want? Did you just call me out? Because we could dance, baby. We could dance. Shit, it's been brutal. All right. So next list. All right. Oh, we got another super chat. DJ is the Terminator. New player here. Great channel, man. Got to go head to work. Look at my list. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. So you'll be next. You'll go in there. So down with it. All right. Demon Engines real. Oh, the World Eaters. My forbidden fruit. My forbidden love. Brazen Engines and Corn Demonkin. Well, that's how you're supposed to play it. So you're already cooking with gas. You're playing Purge the Foe, so we got a Juggalord, we got Blood Crushers, you got Carney with his Zerks, Demon Prince, yeah, Master, yeah, Scarbrand. Wait a minute. Oh, you got Solo Master. I like that, actually. I actually really like that. Scarbrand is nasty, Blood, Chaos, Spawn, Defiler with double auto cannons. I like that. No Mauler Fiends. You are a spicy coconut. No Mauler Fiends. Okay. What I'm about to say is going to be blasphemy. I know that. He is probably he's top 3. He's top 3 favorite characters in all of Warhammer. I've literally read the only 2 books that they've ever written about him. Karn doesn't fit in this list, brother. I love Karn. I love him down to my bones. But the problem is that you're taking the Rhino for Karn. And so I think that you can free up some points. Like you want to make a list that absolutely terrifies them. Drop Karn and the Berserks, which is going to give you basically this is 300 points. And then you got 385 points. That's 2 Mauler Fiends and some change. And the Mauler Fiends will survive longer than Karn and his brick. And they will do as much, if not more damage. And then you actually have a little bit of more points that you can flex around in the list a little bit. I love Karn. He is my bestest boy in the whole world. I think I spent 2 months making a custom miniature of him. I own his old metal miniature. Then I bought the real one just to paint it as is to have it. He's the bestest of boy. He just doesn't fit in this list. Like because you're playing Brazen with Demonkin, it just doesn't fit. So sadly, that I would take Karn, your Zerks, and the Rhino out. All right, you sent me DJs. All right, let me put my Tism hat on and let's fucking go. All right. Hammer, hell yeah. This is my man. Does it? Fuck the OC. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna tell you real talk. Let me look at it first. So because you're a newer player, I'm not gonna worry about the loadouts because we probably are gonna need to tweak your loadouts around. I'm happy to meet with you, DJ, and we can fix that. I got my boy that plays guard exclusively. He's full on, crazy man, so he can help you with loadouts. So Russ, ooh, Lord Solar, that's a spicy take. I kind of dig it. Typically, you don't. Oh my dear God. Okay, so first thing, you need something with him so that he doesn't just get yeeted into the sun. But that's okay. You're playing straight up. There is no infantry here. My man. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you straight up. I played a list similar to this just at the Dallas Open. The guy ended up going 7-1 and finished top 10. He just flooded the board with stuff that was all 11 toughness or 10 toughness or higher with a 2 base save, and it was a fucking nightmare to deal with. So, okay. Hydra, artillery. Okay, so here's the thing. I know that sounds crazy. I don't think you're going to need all 4. I honestly think you can drop one. I'd have to look at their loadouts to really pick which one. 3 of them will screen your backfield pretty well because you got to keep in mind you're playing Purge, so you do not have to hold your home point. You got to take your old 10th edition hat off. You don't have to hold your home point with Purge. You just have to hold your expansion. So if you have Lord Solar in whatever's the safest corner, and then you have 3 others, your entire backfield, half that whole backside of the board is covered. And then here's the part as a newer player that will be difficult. You have to have no fear and go at them. Just go at them. I would personally probably turn 2 of your artillery units into 1 more tank. And I would probably switch around. So there's like a tank. Every tank you can take a flamer on, I would take a flamer on. So you can just push into the fast guns are going to be terrifying in 11th right now because of the way the boards are situated. So I do think you can actually get on somebody here. Orders are going to be a little bit of an issue. So you got 2 commanders here and you got Lord Solar. So turn 1, you're fine with orders. But then after that, orders are going to get a little fucky, but that's okay. I like the 2 Hellhounds to strip cover. I think that's a very, very sound choice. There's another tank. It's cheap. I can't remember the name of it. It's called fucking Lehman fucked her mom something. And it's got 3 flamethrowers and some other guns on it. And I can tell you that it is an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. So the way, listen, he ripped me apart at the Open. You drive it right onto the middle point. You drive your demolisher and your battle tank on the side that's going to have the other stuff. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So you drive it up there. It's got 1 decent gun. It's got a ton of flamers. It becomes an absolute nightmare to deal with. And then you have fundamentally 1, 2. You have 4 because you'll leave the other 4 as is. You're going to have 4 vehicles that are going to go, and all you have to do, this is the part that's interesting, is you're going to get rid of 2 Hydras or 2 artillery teams to get to swap things out, so that you can get like 1 more tank, and that'll be the one you drive into the middle. You have to kill whatever can kill your tank immediately, like triple team it, bully it up. No fear, all gas, no brakes. If you go, ooh, I'm nervous about World Eaters touching me, you're going to get touched. Just go, hit me with your chainsaw. I'm inside of a tank. and drive up, stage, and then go, come on, princess. And because the beautiful part is with this, you're going to get kill more like every single turn. And just chugga. Yeah, you go. Yeah. I don't know if like I've been watching a lot of Peanut. I don't know if you're allowed to say that word on YouTube. Yeah. I don't think you are. Yeah. I really think it's a solid list. So what I'll do, DJ, send me a message in Discord. I'm going to pair you with my guard guy. DJ, are you going to play in the Escalation League? Because one of the coaches is a guard main, and he's one of the better guard players around. It's too close to the 4th of July. The Brits are scared. So not right now. That's okay. Totally cool. Hit me a message in Discord, and yeah, I'll get you with my guard guy, and we'll get all your loadouts set up, and he can walk you through how to play it. But you're going to basically stage and then run them down with your tanks, and either they will be able to deal with the stat check or they won't. It's just that simple. Kind of. All right. Let's keep on rolling. All right, little bit. What do we got here? Ultramarines. It's 4 a.m. in the UK. Yeah, I know. All right, let's see. Mister, I got all the rules. Okay, so here's my only thing, little bit. I see your message. Always be careful buying units. And like, here's the deal. If you're going to a tournament in like a month and you're like, oh, I want these, I need this unit because of this list I'm building, totally cool. I totally support that. But if you're like, hey, I'm building towards this list, one of those units that you buy could get nerfed into the sun and be unplayable for 3 years. So I would recommend, if you're a new collector, collect the stuff that fits the play style that you want to play, because stuff will come in and out of vogue all the time. Just my 2 cents. Okay, Eradicator squads are amazing. You don't need 2 of them. 2 Eradicator squads are enough to kill fucking anything. So I think you can save 180 points right there. Holy mackerel, you're going all big dick squads here. Okay, so Firestorm. Okay. Yeah, I actually like the big bricks of like interceptors. The only thing I would suggest potentially is you spend a smidgy poo more and you turn those bad boys into vanguards, and they'll be better than the assault interceptor squad. Same sprue, so if you already own them, you don't have to worry about it, and you can rock and roll. I think those are very, very good. And since you're including some of the new units that just came out in the game, put a chaplain with them and they get +1 to wound. That's spicy. I'm not a giant fan of Titus, but I know some people swear by him, so I'll just keep moving. Chaplain, I'm trying to see what you're going to attach the chaplain to. You don't have anything. I don't know what you would attach the chaplain to. So I think, I don't know. That one's weird. Maybe it's meant to say chaplain jump pack or something, but I think I don't remember how many points he is. But just a standalone chaplain and a standalone Titus, unless you had the leading, I don't even know if they can lead eradicators, but standalone Captain Titus, not good. Standalone chaplain, not good. They need to be leading something. So that's something to look at. I think we just need to work on building you a list, brother, because like interceptors, 2 squads of interceptors at 240 not good. It's you're overpaying for the utility and you don't need it. Infiltrator solid. Land speeder unit. I am worried the reactive moves are going to get nerfed, but I think it's good. I wouldn't run 3 of them, but I think it's good. Outriders, my man. Thunderstrike, I think is very good. So this is a perfect example of like, if you're playing the Escalation League, we'll help you build a list. If you're not, send me a message. And like, I know Ultramarines up, down. I played Space Marines for 15 years. I can help you figure this thing out. We'll build you something based on what you have, and then things that you can buy to complement that as the army continues to grow. Because like right now, your army doesn't have a lot of synergy. So it's gonna feel sluggish and rough. It's aight. Cool. He might not have sent one. So Vit, all I was saying, brother, was hit me up in Discord, because what I want to do, if you don't own all of this stuff, I think what would be best is like, I'll jump on a Discord call with you, man, and I'm happy to like actually like let's walk through what you own. We'll build a list based on the core of what you own, and then I'll help you round it out based on the play style that you want to play, so you can collect units. Because like the land speeder is probably going to get nerfed, and so like I don't want you to buy stuff that's unnecessary. And like I'll give you an example. I have been collecting Dark Angels for over 15 years. I do not have 12 interceptors. So like in all those years, it's never been a thing where I was like, hot damn, if I had another 6. So that's where I'm saying like hit me up. We can either chat in Discord, or we can do a Discord call and we'll just bang it out, man. Yeah, they might still be good. Okay. Custodes. Yeah. Okay, so I have a small confession. I cannot confirm or deny. I might have started collecting Custodes, and maybe I'm turning them into a full custom Night Lords army, but they're going to be Custodes. And yeah, it was bad financial decisions, but yeah, that's happening. So anyway, Trajan Valoris. Oh, you're attaching him. Okay, so let me look at this thing. Prosecutor. Yep, that's what I'm buying. Spence is the 30K models. They're so pretty. I'll show you mine, Spence. I'll give you an early preview. I'm literally custom building one model at a time, and I bought the entire Night Lord kit. I have a bunch of 3D printed bits, and I'm converting the whole thing. Okay, so prosecutors. You're gonna use the prosecutor. Okay, you got your quick boys. I'm not in love with the Praetors. I'll be honest. I'm not in love with the Praetors. So we'll come back to that. Alaris, yeah, those guys are amazing. Shoot. Okay, so I'm not in love with this list. I'm not sure whose list this is, but not in love with this one. You would play it Purge 100%, but you would want some more guard in here. This is playing a weird, very elite, but the problem with this list is you're going to get bogged down, and you're not going to have them because all they're going to do is they're going to. So here's what's going to happen. The problem with this list: They're going to target your jet bike. They're going to target your praetors. And once your Venatari come on, and they're going to ignore all of your other stuff, and then you're not going to be able to stop them from scoring because they'll have enough firepower to go after it. The Wardens, and I'm going to make sure I'm not smoking crack. I think the Wardens are the ones that let you shoot twice, right? Once per game, shoot twice. Are those the Warden or the Guard? I can never remember. It's one of them. I'm looking it up. I'm gonna look it up. The Dreadnought is fire. Not hating on the Dreadnought at all. I just want to look at yes. Okay, so the Guard. So in my opinion, like all of the really good custodialists right now, you're either running pure Dread Knights, and if you're doing that, totally cool. You do that, or you're gonna have 3, maybe 4 squads of Guard in every single list. Because here's what happens. You have 2 prosecutors in your backfield to screen it out. You have 1 squad of Guard with the banner, and they're all with shields. So now you've got 5 models that have 3 OC each, so 15 OC. They've got 4 health apiece. Makes them incredibly durable, and you will score. Hold your expansion the entire game. Nothing will touch it. You're good. Then you're going to move those other 3 4-man bricks, which are all going to be running spears, into the middle, and they're going to stage in the middle. And if you want to shoot at them, have fun, but whatever. And your goal is that you want to use all of that shooting early to get rid of all the enemy chaff and then charge in. And then you're using your utility pieces to come into the wings, and because you're trying to kill, that's what you're doing. The one actual tricky thing with this army is some of the time it's actually better to not finish off a unit so that you can get that easy kill on the next turn. That being said, I would be completely changing this list. What I will do after the live stream, the list that I've played a couple of practice games with, I will actually I know somebody actually had posted in here, Jonathan from Happy Crumpus, which is a buddy of mine. It's a list he and I have been jacking around with a little bit. What I will actually do is I will post it in the chat for you guys for all of the golden boys and girls. And I think it is an extremely competitive way to play. I think the problem with your list right now is you're trying to do a lot of things, but you're not going to do any of them particularly sensational. You're just a little too diversified, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Sure, whoever's list this is. Yeah. That's all I was saying. But I think I hopefully answered his question about the way I think Custodes are going to be super successful right now. And Jace, just try to help me remember, and I'll post the list as soon as the stream's over. All right, so let's keep on rolling. So we did Vits. All right, another Necron list. You motherfucking Necrons. All right. So Hand of Dynasty. Okay, yeah, this is a little bit more what I expected for a lot of Necron players. Taking hold. So you've got Silent King, who attack, Overlord, Necrons, Praetorian, Deathmark, Reanimator. Yeah, so the interesting thing about that's not enough points. 400, 500, 6. Oh, attached to. I didn't see this part. I'm like, what the hell? This is like 1,000-point list. Okay. Yeah, so this is the old, for those of y'all that have been playing a minute, this is the old school way you played Necron. So before everybody just ran all the Star Gods, it was 1992. I'm hunting John Connor, Terminators all over the board, okay? And that's what this is bringing back, because you got Immortals, Lich Guard, Immortals, Praetorians. So it's one of those situations where like this is going to be a difficult list for people to deal with. My one curiosity is, I'm guessing you're just the death marks just are a little out of place, but it's only 60 points. I'm guessing you just had 60 points. Is probably the reason for that. Would be my best guess. Yeah, I don't. That I kind of without knowing. I mean, my best guess is he's starting all three of them in reserve and using them as utility pieces, because he's playing take and hold. And my best guess is that he's going to push into the middle of the board. He's going to put one brick of Immortals on his expansion. He's going to have the little dinky. He's probably going to have the death marks like kind of screening out his backfield just a smidge. And then he's just going to say, come on, as he just pushes forward with everything and just keeps bringing them back and bringing them back and bringing them back. And his goal is to score 45 primary points by turn 4, because at that point he's probably going to be dead, but he's probably going to have scored 80-something points. And if he's denied his opponent enough, he wins the game. So it's a good list. I actually don't have any changes. I would have to honestly play it because I haven't played like robot spam in a hot minute. So I don't know how. I actually think it'd be good in the new meta because you're going to get the benefit of cover from a lot of this stuff. So I think it's going to be good. I really think it's going to be good. And you're equipping most of them except for the Lich Guard. Lich Guard will be in the front with their sword and shields, and everybody else has got the guns. I think it's going to be good. I think it's a good list. Jesus. All right. Hang on. Let me do this. That is a super chat. All right. 51 dice fun time. Oh, wait, he's not playing Monka.
He don't want to win?
I don't understand. Okay, so here's the deal. This guy decided he wants to play with a handicap. He just decided that for whatever reason, he's going to go into a boxing match, and he's allowed to wear brass knuckles, but instead he's going to put boxing gloves on. Here's the thing. Retaliation cadre is good, except if somebody just blitzes the absolute shit out of you. It's not as good as it used to be. If your answer is, hey, I don't like to play Monka, totally get it, 100%. It's a different type of play style. Totally makes sense. I am a little different than maybe some others. If your army is broken, I cannot stress enough, lean into it, because you could go years before that shit is broken again. My army was broken for 3 months 3 years ago, and it was fucking amazing. I played everyone that would get on the table with me, and I destroyed them, and it was amazing. And guess what? And then I went through 6 months where I had the worst army in the game and got shit on. So I'm not one of those guys that's like, don't beat your friends up over and over and over with the same list. But when your army is strong, you should, if you have the ability to, you should lean into it. So I don't think your list is bad at all. You have a retaliation cadre kind of list here. I think you've got some questionable things in here. The bigger thing is like you actually have the straight up best army in the game right now with Monka, and literally just making a couple of changes and switching to Monka immediately makes your list get better. So yeah, my initial thing would be, I've tabled 13 people with shit. Yeah. So Tau is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So I think it's a good list. I am not a Tau expert. So what I would recommend, and I know he'd be cool with it, in the Discord, there's a dude named Cameron to something. Hold on. This guy right here. Cameron, whoa, he's got all kinds of crazy lights and shit. Cameron, we're going to call him Cameron. Send Cameron a message. And he's one of the better Tau players I've ever played. And he whooped my ass. Technically, actually, I'm not giving him credit. His wife whooped my ass. That's what I'm going to go with. And but he can help you out with like war gear stuff. But that would be my only thing there is that I think you have a good list. I think you're going to win a shit ton of games. But if your goal is to go try to win a tournament, shit, dude, just straight up play Moncon, go get after it. He's the Blood Angel player I already reviewed. He was saying he was trying to make take and hold work. I think it can work. I'm not saying it can't work for Blood Angels. I just think Blood Angels want to stage crash into you and then literally rip you to shreds. They don't have the durability to try to play the stand on a point and outlast you game. So do what you do best and lean into it. That would be my recommendation for Blood Angels. World Eaters. All right, Berserker Warband. Guess what? It's been since 9th edition, and it's still the best way to play the army. Thanks, GW. At least it got Purge the Foe, so we didn't get completely hosed. Slaughterbound. I think Slaughterbound is amazing. Who's he leading? Exalted. A 6-man brick. So you want to kill Jesus himself. Okay. For the record, those of you that don't play World Eaters, a Slaughterbound with 3 Exalted 8-bounds can pretty much kill anything. With 6, there's not a model in the game that will survive them. Period. End of discussion. Like, they could kill some stuff doubled over. Okay, Master of Executions, leading some. What are we doing? Berserker? Okay. Yeah, we got Mo with Berserkers, another Mo with Berserkers. Hold on a second. What in the actual fuck is going on here? We got characters. We got Angron, Demon Prince, 2 Rhinos for those, 8-bound Jackals. Beginner to World Eaters for 11. Okay. Now I understand. I was going, what is going on in the hood? All right. You never need to run a 6-man Exalted 8-bound brick. The only reason you do it is because now the Slaughterbound, if he survives, he gets to res a unit. So you're doing it for the purpose of trying to resurrect him. 3 a Slaughterbound and 3 8-bound will literally one-shot a Rogel Dorn, okay, a Land Raider. So it's bananas, stupid nastiness of rip and tear. Running 6 is just like, I want to tell my opponent I did 40 damage to them kind of thing. If you know, it's crazy. So I think you can either run them as separate so that you could launch that into a second unit or save you the points there. I do personally a lot of the time like running the Slaughterbound with 1 brick so I know I can kill anything I need to. They're my rapid ingress threat. And then a second one that you start on the board that keeps somebody from just charging tanks straight at you. Mo with the Berserker brick. You got Favor to Corn. Okay, fine. Then you got a second Mo with a second Berserker brick. So what I would actually stress to you, it's an old video. I should probably redo it. But there's a tactic called reloading. Save yourself 85 points. You can drop a Rhino. What reloading is it's where you stage 1 Rhino. Then turn 1, you move it exactly to the bare edge of the terrain feature that you want to go. Your second Berserker brick basically hugs it, and it's like just right next to it. And then you launch out your first one, and as soon as they launch out, you're reloading the second Berserker brick in for the next wave to go in. And you save 85 points. You still accomplish that. And 2 Berserker bricks going down one side of the board pretty much will take care of whatever problems you have. The other thing, too, is you don't have our bestest boy. You don't have Karn in here. Karn leading a Berserker brick hits harder than anything in our army just about. It's stupid how hard he hits. So my strong recommendation would be favorite of Khorne isn't. I mean, you're going to get the dreaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then another roll of something every once in a while. But it's not like it's not the end of the world, and you're a newer player, so I wouldn't be worried about it as much. And I'll get you. I'll post it in the Discord. Jace, if you'll make another note, I want to so I can get him. He's asking for the video. It's a video I did a couple months back about like melee movements and tricks and shenanigans. Some of them won't be relevant for 11th edition, but the reloading rhinos trick will be. Or I'll post it. It's Vagrants has asked for it. I'll post it in the World Eater Discord. Worst case scenario, if I'm not too tired at the end of this, I'll just we'll see. But I'll post it. I would probably, if it's me, I'm cutting this Exalted Brick in half, and then I'm subbing out this Master of Executions for Karn, because then you can send mowing the first brick out as your first line of I'm going to rip and tear and do all this. And then once it's blended up, Karn goes in as the second punch and just starts just running around and being a real nasty thing. Plus, if you got 20 berserkers on one side of the board, Angron can charge on the other side of the board. Demon Prince is going to hold probably the middle point. You're going to have some points back from a rhino, so you don't have to worry about that, because you need spawn. You don't have spawn. So the biggest problem World Eaters have is if I'm playing World Eaters, I'm going to go, hey, I'm going to go put 10 idiots in front of you, and and they just move block you, and so you have to run around them, which is where you want the chaos spawn to be. That they are the bully of skirmishing units. So by making that cut earlier, you're going to get a few points back. Dropping the rhino, you can basically turn a rhino into a spawn, which would be really good. That would give you that. I typically actually, like, when I'm writing a World Eater list, I go Karn, I check the Warlord box, then I typically scroll down and I add 2 spawn, and then I build the rest of the list. Now you have Angron on your list, which is totally cool. Angron's your Warlord. Angron, I actually think, has a place in the meta. I think he's just too much because he's just a beat stick and he doesn't help the army at all. But he will kill almost anything he charges into. So I think he's great at that. The one thing you're going to have to know about this army as a newer player, which is a hard thing to learn, when you go, you go. So I would play this very passive aggressive. I'm going to stage back. I'm not going to let the nails bite and just charge into you. And you're going to fall behind because you're playing Purge. And the only thing you have to skirmish is basically a chaos spawn and maybe sending out 1 3-man 8-bound to go kill some scouts or something. And you're trading down when you're doing it. So it's going to feel bad. The problem you're going to have is if you play a really, really smart player and they just basically kind of create like a sea and turtle and just start scoring secondaries, and they have like a priority asset, you're going to this is the problem World Eaters have. You have no choice, but you have to like think of those old World War II movies. You have to climb out of the trench and you have to charge across. It's like the other enemy has bolt action rifles with a bayonet and you have axes. So in melee, you're terrifying, right? But you got to get out of that trench and charge across the open field while they're shooting at you to get to them. That is the fundamental problem. If you're playing a take and hold army or you are playing a purge the foe army, you are fine. Smash in the middle and have fun. If you're playing priority assets or you're playing a recon army, you are going to have a bad day because the problem at World Eaters, so do not feel bad if you're having these problems. They're going to not play with you. They're going to sit back and they're going to score minimum points interacting on the board while literally not even crossing the halfway point. And they're going to go, come out of cover, and I'm going to unload everything I have gun-wise into you. And so that is the difficult thing where you just have to learn the timing and measure ahead to know, like, what are my chances of making it? And when you decide to go, the most fun thing in the world about World Eaters, when you learn how to play World Eaters, if you play a 6-round tournament, you have 2 games that will go all the way down to the last minute. Your other 4 games will be done in an hour and a half. They'll be done in half the time because you will either mop them off the table or you'll get blown off the table. So if you're going to play in the Escalation League, I'll put you on my team. because I played them very competitively for a while. So I'm very, very intimately familiar with World Eaters. If not, happy to hit me up, and I'll help you in any way I can, man.
And I'm going to scrap what Drake said there. His example was poor, being the history major here. Last Samurai would be the better example.
Oh, yeah.
And that chain gun's running you down. I sent you a list because I recognized the person who sent the joke, and they sent me a DM. So I sent you their list.
T-Sons.
Gene with his 1,000 sons.
All right. Hold on. Gotta reshare it because it's in a browser now. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, let's see. We got Demon Prince with Wings, Magnus, Source, Rubric, Terminator. Okay, I'm assuming he's going to use the Zangors to screen out his backfield. He's going to put he's going to put probably the solo Demon Prince with Wings is probably going to hold his expansion, and then everything else is playing Murder Deathmatch. This is a terrifying list. Here's why this is terrifying for those of you. Like, I don't have any changes. I have no changes. I need to play it to really feel it. In the hands of a good player, this is going to be a very scary list because these things are going to be very difficult to remove, and they do stupid damage. The one big drawback of this list is outside Magnus and the Demon Prince, it's slow. It is slow. So slower than Death Guard. So if you can, they're Terminators, they're move 5. So if you can get in their face or block their deep strike, because he's probably going to deep strike 1, he's probably going to foot slog 1, and he's going to rapid ingress the deep strike. If you can block out where he's going to want to deep strike, so he has to go into a not happy position, he's playing a good portion of the game with 400 points off the board. So that being said, the key to this army is understanding your movement constraints and practicing them. If you practice them and you learn them and you got it down, you're going to be a top of the meta army. Where you can catch people with this is if they haven't gotten the movement tricks down, you'll catch them out and you can kill them. I think it's a very good army. Very, very, very good army. Hang on. They can't hear you. They cannot hear you right now. Because I have to unshare and then reshare.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now they can hear you, Princess.
Cat Daddy Spencer with $5. I'll send you another $5 if you tell Gene it's a bad list, so I don't have to play against regenerating Terminators.
Yeah. Terminators that res are pretty sucky because you have to basically all in them, or it just becomes a little bit of a tar pit unit. Playing against it, you want to and I know this is going to sound insane. You kill everything but the Terminators, because if all he's got is those Terminators that are moving slow, you could just straight up run away from them, and play the rest of the game. So it is something you can deal with, but you have to understand it and be prepared for it. All right, we're going to keep on rolling. All right. We did John's. We did the World Eaters. All right. Ultramarines, taking hold. Ceramite Sentinels. God, Ceramite Sentinels is one of the big 3. Fuck you for the Emperor. All right. Cato, yep. The 35th Cal Guard, yep. Attached to Victrix Guard, yep. Captain in Gravis Armor, yep. So for those of you who don't know, Captain in Gravis Armor reduces, he's got a 2-up, 4-up, reduces all damage by half, and then with this enhancement, he's going to revive on a 2+, because that's fucking cool. Then God, this unit is going to suck. This army is going to suck because here's what's going to happen. He's going to put the intercessors on his home point. He's going to put the heavy intercessors on his expansion point. Then he's going to have a scout squad to go into his backfield to cover it. The other scout squad is going to go wherever he needs to go to either block a rapid ingress threat, screen out a deep strike, or just act as a straight up screen. He's going to have Cato in the middle, Calgar in the middle with the Vitrix Guard. Captain with Gravis is going to probably float between the expansion and in the middle because they're going to be playing that. And then he's going to have the only thing I don't understand taking hold. He doesn't need he's got the Outriders as well as 2 scout squads. I would personally drop the Outriders, and I know that, but Ultramarines have no reason to take the bikes. And then he's got Ballistas, Rep X, Hammer Strike. So here's my only thing is, if it was me personally, I would go ahead and I would drop the Outrider squad, and then I would. Where are you going to get enough points? He's got 2 incursors. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing he took it because he didn't have enough points. He's basically putting a couple of really tough units in the middle, and then he's got some nasty shooting stuff behind it. They're going to toe in. This is a nasty list. The Outriders is the only thing that I'm questioning, but I don't know what I'd sub it for. How many points was this list? Was it 95 or 2,000? Oh, 1990. I would. So right now, Cato looks like he's solo. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. So if you drop them, you'd have 80 points. I think I'd rather have another. No, Calgar is attached to the Vitrix. Unless they're double attached and it's just not listing it that way. But I probably would drop the Outriders and get one more Intercessor squad. Yeah, okay, Cato's support now. I didn't know he had gotten the support tag. Okay, so that's your brick in the middle that's just going to be a pain. You get your captain. I would get a second Intercessor squad because the Outriders aren't going to do anything necessarily for you, and you don't need action monkeys. And so I like having the OC bodies that you can go, okay, I'm going to have one on my home point, one on my second point. I've got the heavies that could walk forward, and actually back up the middle with more objective control and everything and give them another target. So I think very solid list. Very solid list.
I've got a good fix for the list too. Take out the Vitrix Guard and Calgar and put in something else and let your opponent have fun.
Damn. All right. Jake, we are these god motherfucking Necrons. These motherfucking Necrons. Okay, Necrons, Awakened Dynasty, taken hold. Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay, Nightbringer, Void. It's like fucking looking into that. Like, we're rewinding here. This is almost the exact same list as the other one. So I hate to do this to you, Jake. I have the exact same feedback. And this is a personal opinion, I do not like Locust heavy destroyers. Like the destructors, the scythe guys, whatever the fuck they are called. I've already forgotten the destroyers. Scorpex. I would sub them out for Scorpexes because it gives you a better skirmishing piece. That's just my 2 cents. And other than that, this list is going to suck. It's not going to be fun to deal with, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Humphrey's list. Like, okay, great. I got another Necron list coming. Cool. Love it. Super. All right. Dark Angels. All right. My goopa. What do we got? All right. 11th Teslas. Inner Circle. Oh, my God. Caliban. Are you? Let me just ask. So here's what happened, folks. I'm gonna paint a picture for you. This gentleman right here decided to smoke some peyote. And then while he was high out of his mind, he created a list and said, you know what? I win too many games. So I'm going to take the worst of our 1-point detachments and a mediocre 2-point detachment and smash them together. And then he got this. I'm assuming he took interrogation. Nope, he's got a chaplain in there. I'm assuming he took it because he wanted purge was the primary reason. So that's a detachment that lets your chaplains, do some battle shock shenanigans and shit. And inner circle, you get to basically pick a point, and that point you can have +1 to wound on. It is better now that it's terrain footprint, so it is better, but it's not ideal. If you want purge the foe, I think Lion's blade is better. It has more like actual like tools, and then you can pick a second one. I saw once we got into it, you crazy man. I see. You've got all the fucking chaplains. You got a Terminator. You got one on bike. Yeah, I was gonna say I count. Well, so here's the thing. Man. Yeah, so I have looked at every variation of Dark Angels. You may be cooking on something, but here's my 2 cents. I think Inner Circle Companions are better than Deathwing Knights right now. They do everything that Deathwing Knights do better. They are when they're being led by a librarian. Spoiler alert! That's what you're going to lead them with. They're cheaper. They are just as tough. So 2 up, 4 up versus 3 up, 4 up, but minus an extra point to hit makes them so much tougher than Deathwing Knights, just reducing damage by 1. And so it's one of those situations where they're just way better. Repulsor Executioner is a good gun platform, but here's the deal: 2 Landspeed or Vengeance are better and will do more damage overall than the Repulsor will in Dark Angels, especially when you give it the dark. You run Dark Flight because they ignore cover, so you just do not care, and so you can save a shit ton of points there. The Lion, I love. He is a great model. I think I've read Son of the Forest twice, listened to it twice while painting. Love him to death. I just don't think he's worth his points right now. His everything he did is kind of come back a little bit. Him not like if he moved through walls, I'd be all for it. The fact that he can't go through walls anymore really restricts his movement. And if you're playing a good player, they can pre-measure where he's going to go, and it's very easy to plan around him. So I don't love that. Chaplain and the bikes, and I love my chaplain on a bike, but it's Ravenwing. You're better running them either solo. You're honestly better just running a 6 brick of knights than you are with the chaplain. So, So I think you can play this list and it can work. But if you play a good player, they're going to understand your shenanigans real quick, and they're going to go, okay, you're playing Purge the Foe, so you got to kill more than me. You can't put your scouts out because that's a free kill. And Asmodai is not good. You're not going to push Azrael and the other inner circles out too early because you don't want to risk losing Azrael. He's going to be one of your later pushes. So a chaplain with bikes, or like all of your units that you want to thump into people, there is going to be a little bit of a fear of losing them. And so because of that, it's hard. It is hard. Dark Angels, like of all the dispositions, Purge is the one I think we are the weakest at, because we want to counterpunch and play a grindy game. And Purge, typically you've got to hit them in the mouth and go. And so You don't have to play the bikes like I'm always talking about. I actually have another list that I'm about to drop. I've just been tweaking it. And to someone's point in the chat, it's a bunch of inner circle companions and land speeders, and it is pretty fucking gross too. So yeah, recon is the way I play them. Recon is incredible with Dark Angels. It's so good because everyone goes, "Oh, you're slow," and then when you have 4 or 5 speeders that move 14 inches, it's like, wait, what? You know, and it's a whole different thing. So, 100%. That's my 2 cents, brother. If you're playing in the Escalation League, I'll put you on my team and I'll help you with it. Otherwise, I'm actually going to because I'm incredibly excited about where Dark Angels are right now. I'm actually thinking about doing a like Dark Angel exclusive live stream with another Dark Angel content creator, which I'm going to leave as a surprise for right now. And we're going to just talk about like list and Dark Angel builds and stuff like that coming up. So food for thought.
I'm going to take this moment to pick at GW. Why the hell are you making it where a human cannot walk through terrain?
He's a monster. Primarchs
is.
Yeah, so Primarchs are monsters, technically. Fuck if I know why, but I think they did it for keywords to make them easier for like anti-monster, anti-vehicle stuff. But yeah. Okay. Earl, my man. So Earl's one of my boys. He went to the Open. We shared a nice little brewski at, where did we go? I don't remember where we went. I think we went to Saltgrass. Okay. She corn on my knob till I bloodthirsted. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a name, my man. That is a name. God, that's amazing. Okay, so we're playing the engines and Demonkin. All right. Angron, Demon Prince, Juggalord, Scarbrand. Holy shit, he's playing Angron and Scarbrand. I got to sit up in my chair. This man's playing the Bash Brothers. Okay. Bloodthirst. 2 Defilers. He just said, fuck it.
Thick list.
He's
thick list.
For the content. My man. Listen, okay, I'm going to say it right now. Earl. If you bring I have like 2 small tweaks for your list, but we'll talk. If you bring Angron, Scarbrand, and 2 Defilers, drinks are on me the first night. Drinks are on me Saturday night, because this is just too much fucking fun. If this is what you're bringing if you're going to bring this to the Texas Open or the Lone Star Open, this will be too much fun. I think this is an insane man list. And your games are going to be over in an hour and a half, and you are going to rip and tear, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun.
Do it if you're cool.
And here's the thing. Cool. Like when your army's in a tough spot, you should play some crazy shit like this. This is a perfect example of playing some crazy shit. So you get a double, my man.
Like, hey, if you want to take a Lord of Skulls, Drake's got one you can borrow.
Just saying, you know a guy. 505 points. Fucking terrible. Okay, what do we got? We got another super chat. Could you shoot me a Discord link, mate? Full of great advice.
I have.
All right, we got you, brother. We got you. Okay, here's my initial thoughts on you. Super new player. Okay, so if you're a super new player, let's see. I'm using what I own. Love that. Dark Arsenal and Firestorm. Okay, totally cool. Like the dispositions. Priority assets, we actually do okay. Azrael plus Lieutenant plus Hellblasters. Librarian plus, okay. Okay, yeah, we're going to flip this. Okay, so here's what you do. We're going to Land Speeder, Storm Speeder, 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Okay, so we're going to change your list to Smidgy Poos. So you're going to run Dark Angel, Arsenal, Dark Flight, and Librarius. So you're going to run 3 1-pointers. This is the other sauce that I've been cooking on. You're going to run the 3 1-pointers. Azrael is going to lead those Stern Guard. Okay, so you're going to flip. You're going to have Azrael lead the Stern Guard. Okay. Then you're going to then have the Librarian. You're going to drop the Lieutenant. We don't need the Lieutenant. Lieutenant can go somewhere else. He can go look cool on your shelf. The Librarian is going to lead the Stern Guard, and there is I think it's something with a C. I can't remember the name of it. There's an enhancement in the Librarius one. It's 20 points, and it gives you crit 5s, and when you pick one of the Librarian abilities, it gives you sustained hits. So you're going to have 2 nasty gun platforms that are going to get sustained hits, and then for the Hellblasters, they're going to get them on 5s. You're gonna destroy the world. You're like, those 2 units they're gonna destroy the world. Okay. So I think both of those super good. Combi Lieutenant, I put him in a lot of my lists. Let him run around, pick the middle objective. That's where you reroll your 1s. Raven Wing Command Squad and a 3 brick, solid, love it. They're shooting. Don't underestimate their shooting. Land Speeder Vengeance, get more. They're amazing. Storm Speed Thunderstrike, love that. Redemptor Dreadnoughts, you're going to run plasmas on them, love that. Infiltrators are going to hold your home. Intercessors for the expansion, 5 jump pack, put those in reserve. Yeah, so I actually think you have a solid list. I think I would tweak some stuff, but I think what we could do here is so real quick. Are you planning on playing in the Escalation League where we're going to be teaching people? Because if so, I'll make sure you're on my team, because I think you can do this, because we could also look at an irons. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so I think there's another way we could look at this too, where we could potentially do an Ironstorm possible build with Dark Age. I don't know. So I think there's some different sauce we could cook here. But the biggest thing that right now, if I was to take anything out of your list, I would take the jump pack intercessors. You don't really need them for what you're going to be doing. And the Lieutenant, you don't really need that for anything you're doing. The rest of your army has some level of synergy together, and I think can work okay. You're equipping plasmas on everything, so that you're obviously going to get the benefit of that with the Dark Age piece, and so you're good and you're cooking there. But your main bricks of damage is going to be the Azrael Librarian bricks. So those are the ones that you want to protect and insulate, because once the Librarian has, he has his abilities going, and you're gonna be getting, sustained hits on 5s, like those veterans are going to be getting. Oh, you're going to be shooting them into the oath target, so you're getting sus 5s with full rerolls where you're just going to fish, and then every dev, like all 6s are devs, like they're gonna yeet a tank into the sun. Azrael with the Hellblasters. I know I said switch them. I mistake. I was apologize. Azrael staying with the Hellblasters. He gives them sustained. You're going to give them the enhancement, so they get the extra 6 inches of range. So they go from 24 to 30 inches. You now have 2 insane good shooting platforms that can really, really do some work. So yeah, it's going to now be like it's just about learning the nuance of how to play it, because what you're going to do, you're going to send your Raven Wings into the midpoint. They're going to stand into the midpoint. You're going to save your Redemptor Dreadnoughts and your 2 land speeders for a moment. Let the game kind of go, because you don't really have a great second skirmish piece. Your Redemptors will push up first with the speeders on the flanks, and then you'll have Azrael move forward. I would start the Librarian and the Sterns in reserve, because realistically, when they come in, they're going to come in 8 inches away, and they're going to throw literally an atom bomb at something.
It is official. Drake's team is now up to 72 members in the.
I'm just picking winners that play good armies. All these I'm putting all the Necron players on the other team. All right, let's see who else we got. Third mount recon. This is not a full list. Oh, your Knights. Yeah, it is. Okay, sorry. Okay. I saw Castigator and my brain went to Sisters. Sorry for a moment there. Okay, so holy shit. Yeah, Gate Warden, by the way, I think is maybe the nastiest, one of the nastiest detachments in the entire game. They basically draw these two giant lines, and as long as they are anywhere in there, and I mean just a teeny bit of a toe, they ignore all modifiers. So fuck all your pluses to hit, your cover, minuses to wound. They don't care. Do not care. Do not care. So the build that I've been seeing is just straight up 5 big knights. So you got the Castigator, and it's 2. You're running typically 2 Lancers. So yeah, the one I'm seeing typically has got 2 Lancers. So I say 5 big knights, 4 big knights, and then the pony, the middle-sized knight, the My Little Pony knight, and that is, it ignores mods to hit, but cover gives 1 to ballistic skill. Hold on. When I was talking to Turner, I thought it ignored everything. You're gonna have to make me look, because if so, I'm gonna talk some shit to Turner. Let's see. What do we got here? Imperial Knights, Gate Wardens. Where's this stupid ass Gate Wardens? You can ignore all modifiers to the hit roll, and weapons equipped by models in this unit have the sustained 1. So all modifiers to the hit roll would include ballistic, because it is affecting your ability to hit the enemy model. So it is in essence ignore all hit mods. So they still are going to hit on whatever they hit, and with towering, they're probably going to be hitting on 2s. So they're still going to be cooking. Yeah, very good. I think you're going to turn this into the My Little Pony. Is the biggest difference. That's what the majority of people are running. All right. Yeah. There's a dude in the Discord. He is a dirty knight player. I'll introduce you. I don't see his name online. He's not online right now. I can introduce you to him. Turner. He's the guy I tied at the Open. Very, very good. And it's very, very interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, we just got a super chat. What is this? Please review my Hypocrite Necron list. I'm thinking about taking it to the Lone Star Open. These
I got you.
motherfucking Necrons. Okay, I'm going to keep going while you are finding another filthy Necron player. Okay, what do we got here? I think this is one I already reviewed. Yes, I already reviewed this list. So it's just got posted again. Yeah. Oh, no, the Jersey Mike guy. The DJ Mike. Yeah. He just posted it twice. Because you pulled it when he did the super chat earlier. So yeah, find me this other filthy Necron player as I keep going. Grey Knights. Okay. So Grey Knights were going to be probably the best army in the game, and then they did get a few points tweakies, and so I still think they're really, really strong. Okay, so here's the problem with Banishers. Banishers is the uppy downy one, right? Hold on. I don't play Grey Knights at all, and they are one of the few factions I am not familiar with, because I've only played them a handful of times. Banishers. No. That's the one where you get the okay, good. Okay. So the trick we learned with Grey Knights. So Peyton and I were talking about this the other night. If you're playing the uppy downy detachment and you go against a purge the foe opponent, they get to pick 3 of your units, and if you uppy downy them, they leave the board, aka it counts as them quote unquote being killed, and it scores points for the other player. So that is what's hurt Grey Knights a ton right now, because there's a couple where you get to pick a condemned unit, and that is very painful to them. I think this and the Terminator Detachment are gross. So you got Valdus, yep. Dread Knight, yep. Terminator Squad, Strike, yep. Nemesis Dread, Paladin. Yeah, this is a very good list, man. This is a very good list. I have literally no changes. I think this is a very strong list. I think the only thing you're going to potentially run into issues, because you're playing priority, you're not going to play disruption. You're going to be playing priority, is if you can get into a problem where if you get into a prolonged fight in the middle of the board, you can get out OC to easy. Because if they're smart, they're going to focus in on your Terminators and not the others, or focus in on, and you're going to be using your strikes for your home and expansion. Why would you go priority over disruption? So the problem is disruption has two incredibly bad matchups. This is for a teams event. Oh, okay. If it's a teams event, as long as you can make sure you're not going into, so if you're going to play disruption, you just do not want to go into a recon. I said priority earlier, I meant purge. Recon or purge. As long as you don't go into recon or purge, you're fine. The problem with both of those is that if you go into a recon army, they can score better than you without ever getting into a fight with you, and you need someone to engage with you, because if most armies, if they just stand back, if they're a better shooting army, you're going to be in trouble. And so recon can be really tricky, because they'll just make like a little half circle, and just go, I'm not going to mess with you, and I'm just going to score, and you can have a real tough time with it. The problem with purge is they're going to ISO target out all of your skinny units. So the problem with this is that they're going to kill your strikes, your rhino, you're going to kill your interceptors, and then your knights, and just leave your 3 Terminator bricks, and they're going to get kill more often, because they'll just shoot into those hard. And because what I would do if I was playing teams and I saw that I was going against Grey Knights, this list, I'd pick whatever shooting army I had and that had purge as an option, and just hyper target it. And it's going to cause you to have to play a really cagey game. Now, if you can pick your opponent, and so you can make sure you're going to play priority assets, or you're going to play another disruption opponent. I think that I really think, or take and hold, I think you'll be fine. I think just right now for disruption, the reason it's the weakest is because Purge the Foe, probably the most popular, is a bad matchup for it. And Recon, which I think is quietly becoming a very popular one, is a bad matchup for it. Yeah. Recon is very interesting, because against that, you can just choose to not play the game and just sit back and keep scoring. And you can score like no exaggeration, you can score 35 to 40 of your 45 total points and just straight up not play with the opponent. And that's, Grey Knights does not want to have to be the one to go instigate. You know what I mean? All right.
I sent you 2. I sent you Kurtman's, and I sent you Spencer's as well, because Spencer had donated as well.
Fuck Spencer. All right. Okay. Is it Roll Tide?
Yeah, that's a yep. This is Battle Cry.
This list is trash just because of the name.
No, I mean it can't be worse. I mean, yeah, it can be Dallas Cowboys, but
oh, don't you start with me. I'm gonna kick you out of Discord. Okay, so all right. So we're gonna talk about yeah, I know. All right, Curtis, let's see what we got here. Hypercrypt. Yeah, okay. Interesting pairing. You're gonna go take it. Well, let's look at your list. Okay. Imitect, Tekro, Wraiths. Only one Wraith brick. Okay. And then the Immortals, another Chronomancer with Warriors, Scorpec Destroyers, characters, 2 Voids. Okay. So here's the thing. I think that you're trying to do a lot of things. I would really lean one way or the other. And here's what I mean. Lean into the monsters or lean into the infantry. So Necrons can struggle, in my opinion, when you try to play the truly balanced game. They really do better skewing. So that's my one thing is like, I think it's totally fine if you want to take one, but before you're going to commit 700 points, almost 800 points of your army, if you're going to flood the board with bodies, flood the board with bodies, or get some more monsters. But my initial thought is I would drop the Nightbringer if you're going to run this list, because the Void Dragon can hold your expansion. He's sensational for that. His close range anti-infantry is great. Like, he's got some good damage. Just good all around, right? And that gets you a lot more units. The only other thing I would say, and this is something Peyton told me, and then I had to think about it, is if you haven't, you need to run this on the board. 20-man bricks, keeping them in cohesion. Now, yours are going to be shooting, so it is going to be easier, but it's definitely different than what you're used to. So if this is something you're thinking about taking to the open, get some reps in on it, because it is tricky. Like, even with my bikes, which are 9, but like they have bigger bases, it is tricky moving them around. It takes practice. It takes some practice. So my biggest thing would be, I would probably drop one of your shards to get more bodies if you're going to lean into the bodies, which could potentially change your detachment, obviously. And lean into it if you're going to do that. And if you want to do that, we can sit down, Curtis, and build a list together. Or get a couple more, get another monster. Because you're kind of, I think you're just a little too balanced. And so I think what's going to happen is if someone's running a thicker list, they're going to kill the few things you have that can deal with that. Or if they have a bunch of infantry, like, they're just going to target what the few threatening things they have, instead of you just having one skew they either can or can't deal with. That'd be my 2 cents, brother. My 2 cents. All right. You said, Kurt. Let's see. I think somebody else needs the Discord.
Gotcha.
You don't need to go the biker gang route. Inner circle companions and speeders are absolutely disgusting. Okay. What do we got here? Just reading it. All right. Yeah, I assume that's what you were doing. Yeah, so the fact that Ultramarines get this detachment already makes me a little salty. They get a melee fucking detachment, because of course they do. Yeah, take a drink after that one. All right. Titus.
Just want to know if I'm cooking with gas before I paint all these models.
Okay, Titus. Man, I've just never been sold on Titus. Wardens of Ultramar. Oh my God. Are you doing the cheese ass shit? Hold on.
Yeah, Titus goes with the Wardens and the Blade Guard, because he's the only character that can join that one break brick.
Yeah. So for these of you that do not know, this is the jank. So Wardens do not technically have an invuln. Blade Guard do have an invuln. These are both considered bodyguard units. So you get to pick which one is in quote-unquote group 1 for the saves, aka you're going to pick the Blade Guard because they have a 4-up invuln. You put this brick on your expansion point, and it is literally almost impossible to remove because these guys are all 3 wound models. I think the wardens are all 4 wound. Is that right, Spencer?
No, 3. They're
3.
3 also.
Okay. So, but you still are talking about 33 health, and you got to chew through all those invuls first, which the bad saves are going to go there. It is incredibly difficult to chew through. It's rough. It's real rough. And because of this detachment, they have the psychic keyword, so you're going to make them minus to be wounded, which is going to be just lovely. All right, attach unit 2. Don't need this. So most games, these guys are going to stay on your home point the entire time. Save yourself the 85 points.
Okay.
They're going to screen out. The backfield is much harder than it was before to screen out. Save yourself the 85 points.
Yeah, my thought was this detachment, you can sticky your home, so then they could go up and then maybe threaten something later on in the game.
Maybe like a turn. You're paying for like a turn 4 or turn 5 because almost every army scores 10 points for doing something to your home point. Everyone is going to be having like deep strike type units. So if you take them up and sticky it, someone's just going to come behind you and just come in the back door. So every game that I've been watching or jacked around with, they're staying back there the whole time. Gotcha. Chief Librarian Titus.
Yeah, this is the ugly brick.
Yeah, this is the sustained crits 5, and then you're going to have +1 to wound dev wounds that just blow up the sun. Yeah, and then
Tiggy's going to make a -2 to hit and cover. The Apothecary gives them the 5-up invuln save, and they're going to be riding up there in the Land Raider.
Yeah, you don't need this. You don't need this. You just straight up do not need this. Here's say this is you're trying to make them incredibly tough. You don't need to, because you could just give them a regular librarian, save all those points. Because if you were foot slogging them up the board, I would agree with you. But if you're riding them in a Land Raider, they're not getting out until it's time to yeet something into the sun, and when they do, it's bye. Like, you know what I mean? And then if something decides to shoot back at them, you need to be hitting with the rest of your army. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just looking, and the difference between Tiggy and a regular librarian is 35 points.
Yeah, so you can keep Tiggy with it. That's totally fine. You could, he's your unique character, totally fine. But you can. The only problem with Tiggy is you can't put the enhancement on him because he's a named character.
Right. So would you put a different enhancement on the Apothecary then, or is the 5-up invuln good?
Oh yeah, no, this isn't the enhancement you put on here. It starts with a C. It's like,
now Reclamation's different.
No, but you're running Reclamation and Librarius. It's in Librarius. Right. It's a Librarius Conclave enhancement that gives that when they're in one of the things, they get sustained and crit 5s.
Oh, I'll look at that. Okay.
So you want to put them a librarian with them, and then you're giving them. It's like somebody in the chat in the chat can. I'm sure will tell us what I can't remember, but it starts with a C, and it gives them sustained hits 1 and crit 5s. And so you put that on there. You're riding them in a Land Raider. They get out. They blow up the world. Because realistically, what's going to happen is you're going to have them sit in the Land Raider until they need to get out. And then you got a librarian with a Terminator squad. There it is. Yeah. So, okay. So we got a librarian with a Terminator squad. I don't know. The jury's still out on the assault squads. I think there's some sauce there, but I honestly just need to see them in play. I've never once played with them. So I know the sauce you're cooking on here. They're going to get to reroll charges when they're trying to go on. Like, this is a unit that's going to attack your opponent's expansion objective. And, right. They're going to get reroll 1s to hit, reroll 1s to wound, all that good jazz. I probably, honestly, what I would do is I'd start these guys in your Land Raider, because that way you could drive the Land Raider forward. They get out, so that Land Raider's gone 15 inches. Now they're re-rolling charges onto your opponent's expansion objective, so they should be able to get on and do all that. Land Raider's now staged, and I would just have your Sterns on foot, because it's very easy to hide units. And when you've got that kind of thing pushing up, nothing's getting within 12 to shoot them. They're going to be fine.
Is the thing that you're looking at celerity?
Yeah. Yes. Ballistus Dread. I think Ballistus Dread's great now that he can tow on. Interceptor, except don't run the bolters, run the plasmas. A lot of people are going to be running elite infantry. The fact that their plasmas can do 3 damage, the ability that they can pop down and on average kill 3 like elite infantry is very good. So the
I thought with them was to drop him in on his home objective and just blow up like the cultists or whatever he has back there.
Yeah,
So I don't think he needs plasmas for that.
You're not going to drop it. So if you can drop in on someone's home, they're not a very good player. What everyone's because the home unless you're playing take and hold, the home point does not matter for like everybody. What the home point matters
is take and hold.
No, I know. I'm saying if you're playing me, my home point does not matter to me other than not letting you have it. So I'm going to screen it. It's not about like putting something back there to like stand. They're not going to be on the point. They're going to be back there like screening. So if you're playing an interceptor, their goal is they're coming in on their turn to shoot at elite infantry, and then they're flying over there to the point where, and then they're going to be able to shoot and charge. So the cultists, whatever gun they have, won't matter if they have cultists on there. But you want to be able to, on the drop turn, actually be able to do some damage to something that hurts, because they can't charge on the turn they come in, but they move 10. So you're going to be a ways away from the home point, and the goal would be to shoot, fly close, charge in. Now you're in, and then go. Land Raider Redeemer, I love it at 250. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't notice that until a couple days ago, and I was like,
it's so sexy at 250.
It is. It really is. And towing that thing just behind a piece of terrain, 2 up save, -1 to be hit. Ooh, girl. Repulsor Executioner. Even with the Ultramarine tax, I think it's still good. I think your list is solid other than the changes we made.
Okay, groovy.
All right,
Thanks, man.
Yep. All right, keep on rolling. I'm going to do a couple more. I know we have a shit ton of more that have been posted. So what I'm going to do is, because we're like halfway done here, but I do have work tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is we will do a part 2, I promise. So give me 1 second. We will do a part 2 tomorrow night. So I'm going to do a couple more, and then we will do a part 2 tomorrow night where I will keep going. All right. Let's see. Where were we? All right. We just did the Grey Knights. Murder Talents. We have not done Murder Talents. Okay, Chaos Space Marines. Murder Talons and Warp Strike. Term Lord. Yeah. Screen the backfield. The 3 giant. So this is the Chaos Space Marine list I've been seeing. This is the suck. Okay, y'all. It is 3 bricks of Terminators with 3 characters that are leading those Terminators to make like just nasty bricks. They're going to use these cultists to basically screen out their backfield, so you can't deep strike anywhere back there. They're going to charge forward with 30 Terminators. Then they've got the Havocs just being nasty guns. And then they have a giant 10-man brick of warps that they're going to rapid ingress in, and it's going to go kill. This, and the Nurglings are literally there to make sure you don't get screened. That's what this is. And it is gross. This is going to be a difficult list. The only chance you have is if you got to have a fast army to be able to get out and pin these guys in before they can start doing all their damage. Otherwise, This is a rough list. This is a rough list. The only thing I'll tell whoever this is, Bean Spread. I've played a very similar version of this list back when it was popular a while ago, and be very cautious if you're playing because they're playing Purge, no question. You're always going to get kill more because you don't have enough. All your models are going to be very difficult to shift. Just be very, very cautious of fast-moving guns and fast-moving hordes that can get in your face and block you. It's going to be that will be your problem. Armies that want to sit back and play a cagey game are going to just let you move up the board, and it is going to be bad news for them. Armies that try to get into their positions and get set, it's going to be a problem for them. So I would strongly recommend find some people that have that are playing some faster paced armies and get some practice in against that. If you can learn how to play against that, you're set, dude. It's a good list. It's a good list. All right, bugs. Synaptic Nexus, Ambush Predators. Okay. Death Leaper. Okay, so first and foremost, Tyranid players, just PSA, my 2 cents. Every single list needs to start with the Spencer, are you still in here? I need my resident bug guy.
Yeah.
What's the dude that makes all the shadow and the warp -1? What's his name?
Neurotyrant.
Okay. Every list needs to start with a Neurotyrant. So when you build your Tyranid list, you need to have a Neurotyrant and a Biovore, and then you build the rest of your list. Those are I literally watched a game today while I was between calls, and a guy had, I think he had 11 units. I think he failed 5 battle shocks, and those units they never unbattle shocked. He failed every time. So it's a very, very big deal. I think it is extremely, extremely good. That being said, hyper adapted Raveners, they hit like trucks. Red Terror is very good. Biovore is one of the best units in the entire game. I love Exocrines. I think Exocrines are amazing. Lictors are great. Maliceptors love crushing impact. Neurolictor, Norn. Dude, I literally like everything in your list. The only thing that I would potentially take out is I'm not in love with the way your list is structured. You've got hyper adapted Raveners, but you have no regular Raveners. I would Spence, how many points is the brain bug?
Like 115. 1 sec.
Okay, perfect. You drop, in my opinion, you drop the hyper adapted Raveners.
Yep, 115.
You pick up your brain bug, and then you have enough points that you can either pick up because you're going to be playing disruption on this. You can now pick up another gun, another Exocrine maybe, to give you some more gun line support, and then have points for another utility piece potentially. And you're going to be set. You're going to have a very, very solid army. I might relook at your dispositions. I like it. I love Ambush, but I'm not sold that Synaptic. Maybe it is. Maybe it's great. It's just not what I've seen a lot of other Tyranid players playing. But try it, see how it does.
In Synaptic, the Neurotyrant is particularly nasty because he can get an enhancement to give his Flamer +1 strength and +1 AP, I think. It's like the best enhancement. It's only like 10 points.
There you go. There's that too. All right, let's keep on rolling. I got 10 minutes more, so I'm going to do like 2 more. Genestealer Cults. Oh my God, the cockroaches. Listen, guys, I am sorry. Like, Genestealer is borderline unplayable right now, and I am sorry. It will be okay, boys. It will be okay. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, their whole army mechanic is unit dies. I have a certain amount of tokens I can use. I spend, I res units. The problem is when a character is attached to that unit, rules is written right now, you cannot res a character. So because the character in the unit are now one and they're no longer character and unit, when that unit dies, you can't res it, you can't bring it back, and you need the characters to be able to give the buffs. So what I think every Genestealer player, every GSC player is praying for is an FAQ that says you can still use it, but when you res, the character doesn't come back, just the unit comes back. They'll say something like the unit and the character have to die, and when they do, you can bring the unit back, just not the character. So, man, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard out there for a pimp until that comes in. It's gonna be real hard. I mean, recon and priority assets are what you want to play. It's what you want to do. Oh man, it's gonna be hard out there for a pimp. Okay, let's look at your list. Yeah, you're running. You got 2 ridges, jackals. Yeah, I mean, you don't have a bad list. The problem is all these lovely characters are going to keep every single one of those units from being able to be resable. And that sucks. That sucks so bad. Yeah, I don't know why your points went up, and I don't know why they took that away. Only thing I can say is I think within the next 3 weeks, that's going to get retconned, and I bet you your list here is going to probably go down by like 50 points, and I think you're going to have a good army then. But I've seen a lot of people with the way they're playing it, which is the assumption of how the rules is going to work, is character unit is now 1. When it dies, you can now res. You just can't res the character. You res the unit as if it didn't have the character. So if you're getting reps in and you want to try to practice for what's potentially coming and not just get shit on, that would be my recommendation. Let's see. Please get my list in a second. I'm going to work tomorrow night. I need help. All right. All right, we got a couple more. Then I gotta go to Sleepy Lands. So let's see. I got to switch my screen share because this one's on a web browser. Apologies. All right, Raven Guard, Librarius Conclave, Shadowmark. Oh, Raven Guard list. Okay. Captain with jump pack.
We'll be praying for you.
Librarian. So your characters are actually good characters. The problem it's not a bad list. It's not a bad list. You're going to use the scouts to run around because what's your dispositions? Yeah, you got reconnaissance. So like you're fast moving. You can punch hard. The only problem you're going to have is if you fight like a melee mirror and you bounce on one of your charges, your game plan is going to come crumbling down around you so fast. And like the stern guards, they're gonna slap like they slap, but like Vanguard vets don't hit that hard, and neither do JPIs. That's my fear. Because this list is like your damage in this entire list is you got 2 Gladiator Lancers for some anti-tank. You got a 3-man Eradicator. So theoretically, you got a Lancer and an Eradicator to kill one tough thing. You got another Lancer to do some damage to something else. You got the Combi who's going to run around and do shit. You got Shah's doing some shit. But Strike and this big brick here, like they're going to hurt whatever they charge into. They're going to do okay in shooting. But both of these that are the JPIs, they don't hit as hard as you think they would. And so my only worry is like if you go into anything relatively tough, like you might get yourself in trouble real quick because like that unit charges into 5 wardens. I don't know if you kill all 5 of them. I think you kill 3 to 4 of them, and then on the clapback, the 2 that are alive they're gonna cut like 4 of your dudes in half, and and then things are going to start to dwindle. So yeah, that's my fear, man. That's my fear. But that being said, I don't know what you do. I think you got to wait a month until you get your codex to see what kind of support Raven Guard get, and just pray they get some. I don't think your list is bad at all. I just think in the melee mirror, you're gonna struggle a smidge. You're gonna struggle a smidge. All right. Share. All right. Here's his Mon call list. Yeah. Fuck you. That looks like a normal monk. Yeah, because Riptide should have stayed 200 points. So lovely. So lovely. So lovely. Okay, we're running low on time. This is going to be the last web one I'm going to do because I don't want to have to keep switching back and forth. All right, 3 bricks in a dream. Big surprise. Same 2 detachments. You're playing Purge, I'm sure. Okay. Yep, there's the second big brick. I don't like the Reavers. I actually not in love with this list. So you're playing Purge. You got the 2 scouts. They're screening your backfield, but I love scouts for backfield screening because you can just pick them up if you don't need them, which is always great. Hammer strike, stripping cover. You got the repulsor you got the double repulsor. Land speeder, probably just putting it in there because you got the points. They're going to hold your expansion. So here's the interesting part. You're going to play take and hold, and you're going to just put this nasty giant brick in the middle. You're going to put all this shit in the middle and just say, come deal with it. And the downside to this list, because I've seen this list floating around a lot, the way you're skewing it, which is to go uber defensive, is here's the response a good player is going to have. They're not going to target your shit in the middle. They're going to blow up your repulsors, and they're going to go, okay, I'm going to focus fire everything I've got into that executioner, and then the regular repulsor, okay, his range damage is gone now. So his units aren't super fast. I'm going to try to go around him, take his home, and just pick everything other than that Ultramar unit and kill everything else. So if they bite and they try to see if they can kill you in the middle, you'll probably win. If they don't, you're going to lose. I think you need to swap out. I think Gene's list that we were talking about earlier, or I'm sorry, Spencer's list we did earlier, I think is a more balanced version than this one. This is just too defensively skewed in my book. All right. I am going to regret staying up this late tomorrow. All right. We're going to do just a couple more. Jake H. Let's see. I have to play take and hold for team qualifier. Okay. Imperial Knights. You can eat a bag of dicks is what you can do. Okay. Questor's Companion. Lancer, Castellan, Crusader, Crusade. This is what you play. This is what you play. Because with the toe-in rule, it's so good. You march that Lancer out, you tow him onto the middle point, and you just say, come on, princess. If you want to shoot my knight at -1 to hit, you go for it. But other than that, come on in. And then when they do, you tow in and you just unload hate to an epic proportion. There's not a lot of stuff that's going to be able to just top to bottom that Lancer easy breezy. So they're going to have to come forward. And when they do, you clap back on them. And if they get nervous because they don't come forward, you just score and you 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 score. Yeah. I think Knights and Take and Hold or Knights and Purge are going to be a bully early in the meta, and they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough. All right, Rhino, you're going to be the last list of the night. All right. Didn't we just do this one? No. Oh, wait. We made it to the last one. Haha. This is the last one. This is the last one. Listen, I made it. So looks like we're not going to do tomorrow night. We made it to the last one. We'll do another stream probably next week or the following, just depending on, give a little time. Okay, last list. Okay, yeah, Purge. You're playing Ooh. Hold on. Oh, there it is. He simplified the list. I was like, this isn't enough models. I didn't see that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you are playing the giant bricks. So, yeah, you got your Lord, you got your giant brick, you got your giant brick, you got your screens, you got your Rhino, you got your bikes, 2 Forge Fiends, Havocs, Warp Talons. So the only thing, so this is a little different than the other one. It's got the 2 Forge Fiends. It does give you a little bit more utility from a shooting perspective. The only thing that you got to think about for Purge with this list, the Nurglings are an essential, so you don't get screened. Completely agree with you there. You're going to play Purge, you can drop the bikes. You don't need the bikes because the reason you have the bikes is the bikes in the normal list that doesn't have the Forge Fiends are what's holding your expansion objective, getting you those 4 points every turn for holding your expansion. But you don't need that with this list. So you could drop the bikes and get yourself 70 points because one of your Forge Fiends is just going to park on your expansion objective and it's going to shoot from there. So that gives you 70 points. I don't know your 2,000 points on the button, but that does give you another 70 points to play with. So I'm not sure what you would do with those 70 points, but it gives you 70 points to jack with. I'm looking. Yeah. Well, what I would actually do is I would drop the Master of Execution off of the big brick up at the top. And turn that into another Warp Talon unit because Warp Talons are really good at bullying skirmish units. So when you go into a recon or a priority assets opponent and they go, oh, I'm going to send my scouts over here, you can be like, excellent. My Warp Talons are going to fucking pick these things up and have a great time doing it. Oh, you sent, 5-man assault intercessors over here. I'm going to go over there and pick them up and enjoy it. So my only suggestion would be if you want to leave it, you can leave it exactly as it is. Normally the bikes are meant for the expansion objective, but you can park a Forge Fiend over there. If you decide to do that, you could drop the bikes, drop bow, and pick up a Warp Talon. And I think you are cooking with dynamite, brother. So that is everything. I can't believe we actually made it through all the lists. So I appreciate you guys. We are doing an Escalation League where we're going to offer free coaching and we're going to help people out. You're going to get paired with somebody that will help you build your list, learn 11th, play through it all. We're going to try to do this probably every other week. I'll do list reviews, and we're going to make this a regular thing. So do me a favor, do the YouTube pleasantries, drop a like, subscribe, all that stuff. It helps us, keep all this content free and keep doing it. We really appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you in the next one.